please don't allow the allegations against me to taint this good and honest man.
Just when you thought the story couldn't get more bizarre, Governor Blagojevich rises to the occasion, appointing former Illinois Comptroller and Attorney General Roland Burris to Illinois' open Senate seat. Few are questioning Burris's credentials, but many are trying to block the appointment, saying the governor has no right naming a successor to the Senate seat he's accused of trying to sell. Better Government Association Executive Director Jay Stewart joins us this morning to talk about that.
No one is more surprised by the governor's actions than his colleagues who have been working to have him impeached. House Impeachment Committee members Tom Cross and Lou Lang are here with us this morning, their reaction to the governor's actions, and to tell us what, if anything, lawmakers in Springfield can do to stop it.
The political minds got to working and they went, oh my goodness, that might be a chance that we could actually lose partisan control of this.
The Illinois Senate's top Republican is blaming Democrats for stalling on a special election that would have taken the power to make an appointment away from the governor. State Senator Christine Radonio is here to say it's not too late, as well as incoming Senate President John Colton. He'll be here to respond.
Roland Burris was actually the governor's second choice for senator. 7th District Congressman Danny Davis sat down with our Jack Conity this week to talk about being offered the job and why he says he turned it down.
And while Illinois focuses on the governor's scandal, Barack Obama moves to Washington today to begin preparing for his transition into the White House. We'll talk to Obama biographer David Mendel about the impact the Blagojevich scandal is having on the president-elect. Good morning. Welcome to Fox Chicago Sunday. It is Sunday, January 4th. Happy New Year. I'm Dane Placco.
Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Darlene Hill. In this morning for Jack Conity, thank you so much for being with us.
The Illinois governor's scandal hits the road starting tomorrow as Mr. Burris goes to Washington.
I am appointing Roland Burris as the next United States Senator from Illinois.
Roland Burris, appointed by the governor last Tuesday, will be in the nation's capital tomorrow to take his place in the 111th U.S. Congress on Tuesday. It promises to make for some delicious political drama as senators say Burris can knock on the door, but he won't be admitted.
I'm absolutely confident and certain that the United States Senate is going to seat a man of Roland Burris's unquestioned integrity, extensive experience, and his long history of public service. This is about Roland Burris as a United States Senator, not about the governor who makes the appointment.
And we are joined by Better Government Association Executive Director Jay Stewart. Jay, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
What do you make of that argument that Burris should be judged on his own merits?
Well, you can't really divorce the situation. Who appointed him? He wasn't appointed by the voters.
He says, I was appointed by the position of governor. I wasn't necessarily appointed by this man.
A man that's being investigated.
And who holds that office? Rod Blagojevich. Why was Rod Blagojevich arrested by the U.S. Attorney? Because the U.S. Attorney was concerned about the selection process the governor was going to go through in picking the appointment to this seat. So, and look, it is entirely predictable that this sort of explosion of media interest was going to happen if the governor chose to exercise his appointment powers, and Mr. Burris knew that, and he participated in it anyway, so no one can claim to be shocked that this is controversial. I mean, before Mr. Burris's name ever came out, Harry Reid, the U.S. Senator, said, we're not going to accept anyone you appoint, not specifically to Mr. Burris, but anybody.
But Jay, let me ask you this: you were at the news conference last week when the governor made that announcement. Like Bobby Rush said, what U.S. Democrat senator is going to come out and say no, he cannot come in? When Bobby Rush put it out there that he would be the only African American senator.
Maybe the very same Bobby Rush that weeks earlier had said Governor Blagojevich was unfit to select a Senate nominee, and he didn't think the governor should do that. So which Congressman Rush are you talking about? I think he needs to make up his mind.
But a lot of people in Chicago and in the black community have said the governor made the right choice.
Well, Congressman Rush had no faith in the governor's ability to make the choice 2 weeks ago or so, but he does now, so I don't really understand his reasoning. With that said, it's not who he chooses, it's who made the appointment. And I know the voters, when the voters have had a chance, we've twice sent an African American to the Senate.
Exactly.
I think the only state post-Reconstruction that's done so,
right.
Carol Moseley Braun, Barack Obama, who the American public decided to make president.
Right.
So, and who's to say some other governor, Governor Quinn, namely, hypothetical Governor Quinn, who knows who he would pick? Perhaps he would appoint an African American. I don't know.
Jay, as we said in the setup to you, Roland Burris has a generally good reputation in the state of Illinois. There's never been any scandal surrounding his name. But talking to you earlier in the week, in fact, the day the story broke on Tuesday, you had concerns about his recent activities as a lobbyist.
Sure. Well, whose seat is this to fill? Barack Obama. And what did the candidate Obama spend the last 2 years talking about? One issue he talked about was lobbyists. He won't have lobbyists on his transition team, wouldn't accept campaign contributions from lobbyists, promoted his legislative agenda in Congress and the Illinois State House as trying to restrain the power and influence of lobbyists. And who does Rod Blagojevich choose to replace Barack Obama? A lobbyist.
A lobbyist. But Barack has come out and said Roland Burris is a fine man.
And he's opposed the appointment, too.
And he's opposed the appointment, too, right.
A lot of
lobbyists,
yeah.
okay.
And if you've been looking at some of his clients, I mean, there have been some heavyweights, Commonwealth Edison.
Well, yeah,
Comcast.
I mean, he had a lobbying shop. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, lobbying is
and the mortgage
makers
in Illinois too.
Well, I mean, if you find any lobbyist who's been around for a while, you'll find some clients who probably aren't held in high public esteem at any point in time. I was a little more interested in his campaign contributions to the governor, because obviously there's been a lot of concern about campaign contributions in our governor.
And he just had a fundraiser for him, but well, not just, but back in 2006, he had a huge fundraiser for him.
Again, it's at the end of the day, it's not about Roland Burris. It's really about the person who made the appointment. I don't think it's wise. I do not trust Rod Blagojevich's judgment. Anything he touches is automatically suspect. The merit or demerit of the person or policy at question is kind of irrelevant because of the person who's making the choice. I don't think we should do anything to enable Rod Blagojevich in any way, shape, or form.
Do you think taxpayers here in Illinois are at that point where they're just like, enough is enough?
I think the sooner he's gone, the happier taxpayers will be.
Because the register keeps ringing on this one.
Well, I mean, look, there is an impeachment process, but it's not something. Legally, yes, they could do it at the drop of a hat, but I think the legislature wants to at least try to engage in a process so there's a modicum of fairness. I don't think they want to operate in the same slipshod manner that the governor has in being a governor.
30 seconds left, but in a bigger sense, Jay, is this sort of a watershed moment for political corruption in Illinois, in Chicago, which is always sort of like, hey, it's part of our culture, wink, wink, nudge,
Well,
nudge.
I think he's managed to catch a lot of people's attention. I think the public is far too accepting of corruption, quite frankly. I think they've thrown in the towel. I think this has shocked a public that has pretty low standards. I think our public is shocked. I mean, this is something we're in uncharted territory, even by Illinois standards.
Could be a couple interesting cycles coming up in the next elections. Huh?
Yeah.
All right,
Jay,
thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
having
always good to see you.
Well, this latest controversy comes as the House committee to impeach the governor continues its investigation this week. House Minority Leader Tom Cross and Assistant Majority Leader Lou Lang joins us next.
Feel free to castigate the appointor, but don't lynch the appointor. I am not guilty of any criminal wrongdoing.